In today's video, I'm going to teach you the best controller settings and button binds for Valorant Console Edition. Now, a lot of this will come down to personal preference, but I'm going to try and explain what everything does so you can get a good idea, and you can basically set it to how you want to set it. So what you're going to have to do, first of all, go to the home screen here and press the options button or the start button, and you want to go to settings here. Now, what we want to do is go ahead and scroll across to controls. But first of all, one thing I would recommend changing is on the map settings. It says rotate map with player. I'd recommend turning this off. This will mean that the map will stay the same and it won't rotate, because it can be a little bit weird to do that. That's just what I prefer. It's up to personal preference. And something else I'd recommend doing is going down into the other setting here, and on accessibility, have a fiddle around with the accessibility options. I prefer mine on yellow, and essentially this will be the outline of the player. So yellow for me is the easiest one to see, so you can go ahead and change that. Now, another thing you can do is you can change the first person handedness. So if you want the gun in your left hand, you can change it, or if you want it in your right hand, you can change it too. Now, you can do tests to see which is your dominant eye, and if your dominant eye is your right one, then you want your gun in the left hand. If you have a dominant left eye, then you want your controller in the right hand. The reason for this is because it basically gets you to see the screen better. So you can do tests and then you can go ahead and change that. But let's go over to the actual controls here. Now, inside controls, you can see if we press on R3, we've got a few different presets they have here. They've got Valorant, traditional, bumper, jumper, bumper shooter, fighter, and tactician. Now, I think that personally the Valorant one is the best one. You can have a look at the other ones, see which you like, but it's kind of down to personal preference. Now, if you press R2, you're going to go down here and you can actually kind of map out all of the buttons yourself if you want to. There's not really any I would recommend changing unless you have a real problem with them. Obviously, sprinting isn't a button in this game. By default, you have to move the joystick like more or less to sprint. And then down here we can go up to the aim section here. So aim is also down to your personal preference. So what you can do here is just go to the shooting range, and what I'd recommend doing is going ahead and seeing how you perform on the shooting range based upon each sensitivity. And you can actually do this in the game. I'll show you that in a second. But then you want to basically go down here and change it. Now, on focus sensitivity, I'd recommend moving this down 1 from your regular sensitivity, just because it means it will slow it down a little bit and make you more accurate. You can also do this with aim down sight if you would like to as well. You've also got this, so prioritize focus, prioritize aim down sight. It's up to you. I'd say prioritize focus. And then you've got your behaviors. So do you hold on a sniper? You can either hold or toggle. It's up to you. And then you've got these here. So you've got the different sort of curve settings. You've got standard, smooth, linear, all of these ones here. This is down to your preference. But essentially, it's to do with how it accelerates when you are shooting, essentially. Next up, we have the movement. So you've got crouch. You can either toggle or tap or hold even. And then you've got the walk/run threshold. So this is basically how far you have to move your joystick before it goes ahead and runs. And you kind of want this as high as possible, really, just so that you can walk most of the time, and it's easier to walk because this is obviously an important mechanic inside of the game. And then you can either set default movement mode to run, or you can set it to walk. It's really up to you. And then you've also got your movement dead zone here. And lastly, you have your advanced settings. So how you get to your secondary weapon, all of these different ones here. How do you plant? Do you tap? I would recommend having hold for planting and diffusing. Auto equip priority, stance indicator, walk while in focus, and vibration. You can have vibration on or off, it's up to you. And basically those are the settings I would recommend changing. Now, to go ahead and actually check out the best sensitivity for you, go to play, and then you want to go to custom. And inside here, we're going to be going to the shooting range. So we want to go down to where it says practice, and then we want to go to the range. So the way this works is you are going to be shooting some targets here, and basically I believe there'll be 30 of them, and you have to basically shoot them, and your goal is to go ahead and see how many you can shoot out of 30. So what I'd recommend doing is getting yourself a Vandal or something like that, a common gun you use. Press start, and then basically what you can do is you can go ahead and you can see the challenges here, and basically we want to be aiming for headshots, and so far I've got none. So basically just go through and just do the challenge and see if it's difficult. And then depending on how you feel about it, you can increase your sensitivity or decrease it. And then basically you want to go ahead and just see how many you can hit and which is the best sensitivity to you based upon the amount that you actually hit. Now you can see right now the sensitivity I've got seems to be, you know, relatively decent. I'm not struggling too much, maybe a bit. But headshots are obviously very important, so just keep playing this and just see if it improves your aim and also how your sensitivity is and how your aim is based on sensitivity. But these are the different settings I'd recommend changing inside of your Valorant console and controller. So if you enjoyed the video and found it useful, be sure to like and subscribe, comment down below that it helped, and let me know if there's any other videos you'd like me to make on Valorant or any other game in particular. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.